Hey, Seven White, this is Mrs. Cummings. I just have to do a screencast for only one of your slides in your PowerPoint that you've been writing in over the last couple of class periods. So you should have slides like 3 through 17 finished at this point. So 18 was a brain pop that you've already watched, so we're skipping right over that, and we are going to go to slide 19. And slide 19 talks about the periodic table. There's just a couple of notes today that I want you to know about. And you already know a little bit about the periodic table because my last lesson talked about it. And you just watched a brain pop. So this is slide 19. And there's a couple of things that you need to know about the periodic table. So the first thing I want you guys to know is that it ranges elements in order by their atomic number. So some really smart scientist named Mendeleev in about I think it was 08, developed this periodic table. And he found out that when he puts elements in this pattern that you see here, in order of their atomic number, they see that similar elements will end up in the same group. And I'll tell you what that means in a second. So here's the basic shape of the periodic table right here. Now there are two rows on the bottom, and if you downloaded the periodic table off of my Canvas, you know that already. But it basically looks like this, okay? So one of the things I want you guys to know is the names of the elements as they're read down a column. They're called groups. And there are 18 of them on the periodic table. And if you have elements that belong to the same group, a lot of times they are pretty similar to one another chemically and physically. In other words, they look kind of alike and they behave, they react chemically in a similar kind of way, okay? So if you counted across, this would be group 1. They're actually called the alkali metals. This is group 2. And if you keep going, you would end up with group 18 over here. Okay. So like this is group 1 right here. We have the element hydrogen. Hydrogen's atomic number is 1. So it's got 1 proton. It's the first element on the periodic table. Helium's atomic number is 2. Lithium's is 3. Beryllium's is 4. And they go in order like that. Okay. So this first group of the periodic table, as I said, are called the alkali metals. Now, hydrogen is kind of considered its own thing right here. But if you look at the elements lithium and sodium and potassium and rubidium right underneath it, and cesium and francium, these elements right here all react really, really violently with water. They're all silvery soft metals, and they're all in the same group together, okay? So elements that belong to the same group often have properties that are really, really similar to each other, okay? Chemically and physically sometimes. Okay, now, so the elements that belong to the same column are said to be in the same group, but you can also look at the periodic table as it goes from left to right in these rows right here. And those rows are called periods. Okay, they are the rows that go across the periodic table. So this right here, hydrogen and helium are in the first period. The second period right here, we have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. This is the third period, and all the way down to the 8th period on the periodic table. Elements in the same period aren't necessarily that chemically similar to each other. They just have their electrons are located in the same outer energy level. So that's sort of how they are alike, okay? So these groups right here, as I told you that groups, some of them have actual names. Group 1 is called the alkali metals. and those elements are really, really similar to each other. Group 18 actually have a name also. They're kind of important elements. They're called noble gases, and noble gases are all gases, obviously, and they are all unreactive. You have a really, really, really hard getting them to react with any other element to form a compound. Okay, so this is the periodic table. It arranges atoms or elements in order of increasing atomic number, and it places elements that are similar in the same group, which is a vertical column. It also arranges elements in 8 periods. Told you this was going to be short. That's all you really need to know about this particular slide. So just go ahead and finish up your work for today. I would like you guys to submit this. I think we meet again on Monday. So you need to go back and make sure that this periodic table is all filled out so that you can submit. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.